So this is the Excavator swing motor, which is the function of this motor is to swing the excavator to the left and the right. Okay, so this is the one set of motor. This is the control valve and this is the motor. I will dismantle all the component on this motor and I'm gonna show you how exactly the part inside of this motor, and I'm gonna explain to you how exactly this motor functioning. Swing motor is connected to this gear and the swing motor will give a mechanical power to this gear and this gear will rotate. This is what we call the planetary gear. This is the sun gear and this is the planet gear. Okay. As you can see here, there is a shaft. This is the shaft which is connected to the motor, and this shaft will connect to the planetary gear, which is then this shaft will give the power to the gear to rotate. Okay, so anyway, on this video I will share full information about how this motor works. So this is the cover, and the cover is actually pressing the brake. So the cover will press the spring, and then this spring will press the friction plate. So this is the valve plate. The valve plate is to separate the direction of the hydraulic pressure, which means that half of this valve plate is a different direction. So this is one direction for the left, and this is the right direction for this motor to turn, to rotate. Right? So the valve plate is to separate the direction left and right for this motor. And yeah, as I just mentioned, this spring is to press the friction plate, which is also known as the brake. naon tadi. And this is the friction plate, the brake plate. And this is the plunger, the piston. Okay, so that is the piston, and this is the thrust plate. Okay, so later on I will clean all the part first, and all the dirt and also the oil I will clean, and yeah, after that I will explain in more details on how this motor works. Alright, so this is all the component of the swing motor. Okay, so this is the housing, this is the cylinder block, this is the shaft, this is the plate to press the friction plate, this is the thrust plate, this is the valve plate, this is the spring, and this is the friction plate, and also this is the control valve for the swing motor, and this is the plunger or the piston. Okay, so basically the component of this swing motor is the same with the main pump, the hydraulic pump of this excavator. Okay, so the main pump will have the cylinder block, the plunger, the piston, the valve plate, the shaft, and also the thrust plate. Right, and also this is the ball guide, which is to make sure that the piston can move on all directions. As I just mentioned on this video, the swing motor is typically a reverse function of the main pump. Alright, so I will tell you exactly why is the swing motor is a reverse function of the hydraulic main pump. So this is the cylinder block, and which is also the housing for this plunger. So the piston will be inside of this cylinder block. Okay. The main pump will have the same cylinder block and also the plunger. Okay, so this is the set component of cylinder block and also the piston, and if this part on the main pump, the role of this component is to do the suction and also to push the hydraulic oil to generate the pressure. Okay, but for this one, for the swing motor, this set of component will not doing the suction and also the pressure. For the swing motor, the cylinder block and also the piston will rotate based on the hydraulic pressure from the main pump. Okay, so basically this will rotate, and the power source of the rotation is coming from the hydraulic pressure. So this valve plate is the divider of the two movement or the two direction. There is a 6 hole, and we can divide this valve plate into two sides. Right, so this is one side and this is one side. So for the swing motor, the direction will be divided into two rotation, which means that the rotation will be to the left or to the right. Okay, so which means that the section right here is for the right, and the section to the right here is to the left, right? So left and right. Okay, now we go to the housing. This is the housing, right? So you can see here, inside of here, the surface is inclining. Here will be the bottom and here will be the top. So the shape will be like this. It has a degree, so I don't know how many degree for this one, but the surface is inclining. It's going down like this. When we put the cylinder block and also the piston inside here, the position of the piston will be like this. Will be like this. All right. So this is how, or this is the shape of this plunger when we put inside of here, because the surface is inclining, right? So for the main pump, I have explained on my previous video that if the piston position is like this, which means that this cylinder block is already having the force to suction and also to push the hydraulic oil. That is for the main pump, right? But for this swing motor, there is a force inside of the cylinder block here, or to rotate this cylinder block. So this is the shaft. The shaft is actually the component that convert the hydraulic pressure into the mechanical power, which is the shaft is connected to this cylinder block, and then also the shaft is connected to the planetary gear, which is the shaft will rotate, and that's gonna be where the mechanical power is supplied to the planetary gear, and then the excavator can actually swing to the right and to the left. Okay, so now I will put back this component inside of this housing. I will show you how exactly the component is moving when the pressure from the main pump is entering on this motor. And then after that, we put the cylinder block and also the piston in. So this is how it looks when I put back the cylinder block and also the piston. So you can see that the piston on this side is actually on the top position, right? But for that side, the piston is at the bottom position. The shape of the piston here will be the top, and the shape for the piston will be inclining. If let's say we look back at the main pump, piston position is inclining, and the pump is already having the force of suction and also generate the pressure. So for the main pump, what I mentioned before on my previous video, if let's say the rotation of this cylinder block is like this, so which means that on this side here until here will be the suction, then from here until here will be the production of the pressure. Okay, so that is for the main pump, the hydraulic pump. But for the motor is different. But for this one, the motor will rotate when the pressure is entering the cylinder block. So this is the bobblet. So the position of the bobblet will be on the top of this cylinder block. As I just mentioned just now on this video, this is the plate will divide the direction of the motor, which is one is to the left and one is to the right. Okay, so the valve plate is not rotating. Yeah, so the position of the valve plate will be fixed on this position. So the only part that is moving is the shaft and also the cylinder block and also the piston. Okay, so this is not moving the valve plate. Okay, so this is the top cover for the swing motor. So it's not moving or it's not rotating. It will be fixed because there is a lock. As you can see here that there is two holes, which means that this hole right here is from two direction, which is one is to the left and one is to the right. So the pressure from the main pump will enter either on this hole right here. When the pressure is going in here, and the pressure will go on here, on this side. When the hydraulic is entering on this side and the pressure is applied on this side, which means that the pressure will go on this side right here, correct? So when the pressure is going inside of this cylinder block, right, so the pressure will then push the piston, and then the piston will move slightly on this direction, create the force for this cylinder block to turn on this side. It's same if the pressure is entering on this side, the pressure will then push the piston inside, and then it will create the force to the cylinder block, and this motor will rotate on this side. So when the cylinder block is rotating, and now the pressure is converting the hydraulic power to the mechanical power through this shaft right here, because this shaft is actually connected with the cylinder block. So if I rotate the cylinder block, the shaft is also rotating. So basically, if we look at the bottom of this motor, that's gonna be the shaft which is connected to the planetary gear. Okay, so now we understand that this motor is actually converting the hydraulic pressure to the mechanical power. Okay, so now we move to the main pump, right? So the main pump, basically the shaft is connected to the engine, which is then the engine will supply a mechanical power to the shaft, and then the shaft will rotate. The pump is producing the pressure. So now we understand a simple process of the hydraulic main pump, the mechanical power generated from the engine, and now the pump is converting the mechanical power to the hydraulic pressure power. Alright, so that is how the main pump works. And for the motor is a reverse function, which is the motor will convert the hydraulic pressure into the mechanical power. So that is exactly why the swing motor is actually the reverse function of the hydraulic pump. The main pump is producing a hydraulic pressure while the motor is producing the mechanical power from the hydraulic pressure. Alright, so that is the main component of the motor, on how exactly it turns from hydraulic pressure into the mechanical power. So there will be another part of this swing motor, which is the brake, the friction plate. And this is the friction plate. The friction plate will be the brake for the swing. So the control valve will have the spool inside here, and this is the supply port, and this is the return port. and this is the relief valve, is to control the amount of pressure. There is two relief valve, which is controlling the amount of pressure to swing to the right and also to swing to the left. Okay, so this is the pilot pressure. Okay, so as you can see here that this motor, the condition of the component is not really good. As you can see here that the valve plate surface is supposed to be a very smooth surface, but now you see here that the valve plate surface is having a bad scratches, can cause the swing motor operation will be slow. The power will be slow than the normal power of this swing motor, right? So this is one of the common issue on the swing motor. Whichever the cylinder block or the valve plate is having some damages, and then the power of the motor will drop. Okay, so this is the swing motor which we have done doing the maintenance, and now we are going to install back the swing motor back to the excavator. Right, so this swing motor is for this excavator, and for this one is for the other excavator, which is the machine on the early of this video, because the machine, the model of this machine is same. Okay, so now we have installed the swing motor, and this machine is ready to run. Alright, so that's all for today's video, and if you have some additional information or you are not clear about my explanation on this video, please let me know by commenting on this video. And for the next video, I will be explaining about how exactly the control valve work, and I'm gonna explain every part or every component of the control valve. Stay tuned and see you guys on the next video.